The gamble paid off. Here we go. That's right. We took the risk and we made it happen. There it is. Boom. Hey, what's up? This is Chosen. Hope you're having a fantastic day. This is going to be a Raid Shadow Legends video going over all of the things happening right now in game and in the community. We've got a lot to talk about in this one. So we've got the end of the Supreme Kale guaranteed event that happened, and then I am going to show you the 5 winners who subscribed to the channel and then left their user code for some free resources. I'll show you which one of you won really quick, and we have got a crazy summon rush right here. Summon as many champions as possible to earn enough fragments to get Michinaki. And then we also have Plarium announcing which champions will be featured in the 10X happening this weekend, in case anybody's pulling for the summon rush, the champions that will be featured in that event that have a bonus chance. So I will get you caught up on everything you need to know as we head into the end of the week. Let's get into it. Alrighty, so first of all, the 5 winners that won the free resources in our previous giveaway video are right here. Up top was the most recent one that I drew. It was Kaisumi. And then the 4 down there, we have Kevin Richardson, Stick-A-Wish, Radical Progression, and Joshua Rebow. I have already sent your user codes to Plarium, and hopefully you get your resources soon. They should show up in your inbox. Thank you for being a subscriber to the channel and participating in the giveaway. So alrighty, as we dive into some of the game stuff, there is going to be a normal 10X going on this weekend that Plarium announced this morning, and we've got the typical 4 legendaries and 4 epics. You've got Nekrit the Great, Kira the Watcher, Sneak Trock, Truoth, Naya, Skullcrusher, Taraji, and Troombor. Now, on the surface, these champions are pretty good. I know from kind of tracking the community and some of the things that we pull that people are the least hyped up about your normal 10X events. So I don't anticipate too many people going too crazy for this. I think you're going to see some of the high spenders that are maybe excited to go after Nekrit because he is a pretty awesome defensive PvP champion. But all in all, I don't see like a Maneater or a Seer or something that more of the early game to mid game type people will be going after in terms of an epic, and a more general utility progression champion like a Siphi or a Duchess, Kymar, something like that. In the legendaries, I don't really see. It'd be Nekrit, obviously, as the grand prize for the tanky PvP champion, but most times people nowadays are saving up for either guaranteed summon events like we just saw with Supreme Kale, or for 2X events if they're more in the progression phase of their account. But this 10X is going to be during some craziness going on. And that is going to be for the summon rush that you see right here as part of the 4th anniversary events. And it looks like summon as many champions as possible to earn enough fragments to get Michinaki. So looking like it's going to be some sort of a pseudo guarantee. I honestly, I don't know. All I can kind of see is what we see in game here. We haven't gotten any confirmation on anything as far as I know as of recording this video from Plarium. So obviously tomorrow's daily raid wrap-up video is going to be pretty hype as we can first kind of react to what it's going to take to get Michinaki and if it's worth it and what accounts it's worth it and all of that kind of depending on the stuff. But we just get no break, do we? It's just guaranteed event after guaranteed event after guaranteed event after 2X after CVC after. It is just every day there is something crazy going on in terms of pulling shards, it seems like. And I'll get more dedicated coverage on Michinaki as we head into the weekend and all the stuff going on, moving into tomorrow and all of that with the events being live. But your quick refresher course on Michinaki is a very solid champion. You've got the HP burn on the A1. You've got a champion that scales with defense, so going to be super tanky. You've got an A2 that can book to a 3-turn cooldown that does both defense break and a decrease attack as long as they are under a hex. And we've got the A3 here that attacks multiple times, removing all buffs and both placing a hex. We've got both abilities on a 3-turn cooldown, so a nice rotation and synergy of the abilities. And then whenever an ally attacks an enemy under a hex debuff, this champion will team up with them and also join in to do the A1. That's going to be placing the HP burn. So yeah, Michinaki, very fun champion, lots of cool utility. So it's going to be interesting to see how the event is structured and what the path is to acquiring him and how expensive it's going to be and all of that. CVC has come to an end, so your next CVC will probably be in about 12 days from now. It looks like Plarium is back to their normal rotation, where we're getting these every other Tuesday. So as we move in towards the middle of April is when your next CVC match should be occurring. Under the tournament tab, there isn't anything too crazy going on. You've got your normal Dragon tournament, and is the 2x4 speed still live? It is, so that'll be double dipping there. You've got a chance to get some bonus speed pieces if you're willing to grind the Dragon, and you got the guaranteed rewards over on the right. It's got part of the anniversary and all of that. Wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to get 1,000 points and scoop up your awakening mechanics. And then also the Ice Golem tournament that was special came to a close. Did I win it? Okay, nice. Okay, so I saw that I was in a winnable group and I had a decent Dark Elves team, so I went ahead and got after it and won the pieces there, and scooped up the shard and the charms. So that one has come to a close. Otherwise, you've got like your normal champion training stuff around the anniversary and classic arena takedown and all of that. But definitely the most notable thing is going to be the summon rush that launches tomorrow. That'll be the one we got to kind of pay attention to what is happening this weekend. And now we've had a day to kind of digest the things that were coming down the line yesterday in terms of the video that broke down the live arena. So I asked, how do you feel about the live arena champion, Quintus the Triumphant, the one that does a bunch of single target damage and snowballs abilities, resetting cooldown and all of that. So far, pretty positively received. You've got a 62% positivity rate between great and decent, which is pretty good, honestly. And then you've got a 38% negative view of the champion here between meh and trash. So 62-38 split so far on how the community, at least voting here on the channel. Shout out to the over 2,000 of you that voted over on the community tab for taking part in that. So all in all, the champion being received decently well. It's a little bit more of a mixed bag on live arena, and honestly, we're not really going to be able to tell for sure until we can really sink our teeth in and test it and see how the matchmaker and all of that is implemented in game. And then also the guaranteed Supreme KO event, it was pretty stable at around 8% the whole time. So as far as the polling on the channel, about 8% of you were interested in polling for the Supreme KO event that just ended. And I didn't end up going for the Supreme KO. As much as it breaks my heart, as much as I would have loved to, I just couldn't justify spending the $200 or $300 to go after Supreme KO when there wasn't a 2x or anything going on. It was just going to be too brutal. If I had like 70 or 80 void shards, I probably would have tried to make it happen, but I wasn't about to spend that kind of money just to go after one champion unless he's like a god in live arena or something, even though I do think Supreme KO would have been a lot of fun to have on the account. It just wasn't meant to be because I didn't have enough void shards to make it happen. But one thing that did end up working in my favor was the Supreme Elhain fragments. Now, I ended up at 95 fragments for Supreme Elhain, as you can see right here, and I knew I would end up about 5 or 10 short on the fragments, and I kind of took the gamble and decided to just end up short because I didn't want to spend $150 worth of shards to complete the last summoning event. That would have made me get up to like 105, 110 fragments. So I took the gamble, and it paid off. As you probably saw in the intro, it paid off because today in the shop, we have got the typical fragments that are $2 a piece. So I can round out the last 5 that I need here for $10. I literally saved myself like $100 worth of raid resources. If I would have pressured myself to finish that champion chase or whatever it was to get the 20 fragments, I would have spent way more shards than it's going to end up being just to spend the $10 here to finish off the fragment champion. So I am going to be able to get Supreme Elhain after all and do a guide on her and showcase the build and all of that as a champion. So I'm super excited that I saved the trouble there, even though it's unfortunate that I do have to spend the $10 on the last fragments here. That $10 is a lot cheaper than what it would have cost me in terms of shards to finish the event that would have helped me get to 100. And then while we're here, is there anything else in the shop worth talking about? So this one might be decent for high spenders. They might be interested in the Soulstone Party Pack. I don't know that it's great for the low and mid spenders, though. The Fragment, the Regular, and okay, so really nothing is super crazy today. The noteworthy stuff is going to be the Multi-Battle Pack, which is decent, especially for mobile users that don't have access to RSL or BlueStacks or anything. The multi-battles are a little bit more important. It's not godly, but it's decent. And then the Soulstone Party Pack could be all right for high spenders. And we do have confirmation that fragments are coming through the shop at the normal price for Supreme Elhain. And on the way out, shout out to my good friend HWZ, who has been doing really fun stuff over on his channel. He is definitely worth a sub. I'm going to link to this video down below where he brought me on to test my raid knowledge and put me through the grinder on this raid Jeopardy board where I had to go through and answer questions. So you'll finally get to see if I know what I'm talking about in terms of trivia and all of that from the other end, where I'm the one being grilled instead of me being the one hosting the questions and all of that. He's had like Hell Hades on there and me, and he's gonna bring on lots of other creators as well to do the raid Jeopardy board, and he is doing a lot of really good content over on his channel. So I'll link to it down below, and you should definitely check him out. So already, I've got to get out of here and meet with some people and collab with some people on some things. We've got a lot of stuff to stay in the loop on heading into this weekend, obviously, with all the Michinaki madness and all of that. So remember to subscribe on your way out if you enjoy daily Raid Shadow Legends content. Congratulations to the 5 winners from our last video for getting the free resources in the giveaway. And I will see you soon in the next video. Have a good rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Peace.